IGN's Up at Noon is flavored by Wingstop. Try chili lime. It's a wing thing.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Up at Noon. I'm Greg Miller. Who's ready to talk about star-spangled underwear for 20 minutes? Yeah. A few of you. All right, I thought more, but whatever, no big deal. Up at Noon's Brian Altano is here to pair your favorite video games with the best food of all time, and then Susan Eisenberg, Wonder Woman from the Justice League cartoon in DC Universe Online, is here to talk about being the voice of the Amazon warrior in all the properties you love. But first, news you care about. The Point Break remake will reportedly have very little in common with the 1991 original. Sources say Keanu Reeves won't be in the film, it'll be shot in 10 countries, and the movie will feature less surfing and more rock climbing, motocross, and wing suits. The film will be called We Totally Missed the Point Break. EA's UFC 2014 will feature martial arts legend Bruce Lee as a playable character. Not to be outdone, Cabela's Big Game Hunter announced its next title will feature Brandon Lee. I'll wait for the kids at home to Wikipedia why that joke's funny. Star Wars Episode 7 has started filming despite the lack of a complete cast or a finished script. But why worry about little insignificant details like a script and a cast when, you're working on the single most important film of our generation, one that has the chance to stand as the ultimate redemption tale of a once-beloved franchise gone terribly, terribly awry. No big deal. Just wing it, Disney. Gearbox announced a new entry in the Borderlands series when it revealed Borderlands the Pre-Sequel. Yeah. Now, while those idiots are excited, that is a ludicrous title, but Gearbox has reaffirmed their commitment to it and announced a slew of sequels like Borderlands, the post-pre-sequel, Borderlands, the pre-post-pre-sequel, and Borderlands, the post-pre-post-pre-sequel to Tales from the Borderlands Episode 4, but the pre-post-pre-post-pre-sequel to Tales from the Borderlands Episode 5. That is the end of the joke, yes. And finally, in honor of Wingstop sponsoring Up at Noon this month, our very own Brian Altano decided this would be the perfect time to pitch the wing giant on some new wing flavors. I am already terrified of what he's been working on. Live from his kitchen, here's Up at Noon lead writer Brian Altano. Brian!
Thanks, Greg. Chicken wings are awesome and video games are awesome. And when two things are awesome, you're required by law to put them together to make something less awesome. Like the Aliens vs. Predator movies. I'm still mad. That's why I've decided to pitch our sponsor, Wingstop, my new line of video game-inspired chicken wings. Are you ready to taste the future? Yeah. First up is the newest, bluest chicken wing ever created, Sonic the Wing Hog. It's gotta go fast through my stomach.
Whoa, what? I mean, no, that's a terrible catchphrase, but nobody's gonna eat a blue chicken wing. What's wrong with you, Brian?
I think it's a great idea. It's better than most of the Sonic games. Or the most anger-inducing chicken wing on the market, Snacky Bird. Eat the knives, I don't care. Get it before it's gone forever.
Correct me if, did that chicken wing have lips? And why did you give a wing a mouth? I mean, how the hell did you think that if you...
It's not really a mouth, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In 4 unique styles and flavors. You can eat them in the sewer or at work. I like to eat Raph first because he's sarcastic.
These ones are intriguing. What about the headbands? Am I supposed to eat the headbands? I mean, it doesn't really make sense.
They're not real headbands. I mean, they're like edible. Forget it. Wingry Birds with green pig bacon. I didn't even have to work on that one that hard. Throw them at a wall.
Nope.
See if it breaks.
Nope. No, Brian. These are terrible ideas. I love wings, and I would never eat that. And Wingstop would never go for that. As far as they look terrifying. Brian, you're going to scare away our one and only sponsor. Then they're not going to give money to Up at Noon. Then the show is going to get canceled. Is that what you want?
No.
Brian Altano, everybody. Honestly, some of those dishes sound great. Speaking of sounding great, Greg Way! Whether it's in the Justice League cartoon or the MMO DC Universe Online, Wonder Woman always sounds amazing. And that's thanks to my next guest. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Susan Eisenberg. As I live and breathe, Susan Eisenberg. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am excellent. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. This is a true pleasure.
No, don't dress it up too much. How long have you been Wonder Woman?
I believe since 2000.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
We used to, a lot of stuff has happened in that time period.
A lot of stuff, a lot of different jobs, a lot of different, some television, some games, but Justice League started it all.
Yeah. So when you set off on that track, did you ever imagine you would be in the greatest MMO of all time?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad it helped. DC Universe Online, yeah, that's the big one, the Amazon Fury DLC.
I know, it's the trilogy, the Amazon Fury. I just recorded a couple of weeks ago.
What happens in it?
Okay, so this is what I recorded so far, because there'll probably be some more recordings.
Sure. I'm going to close my eyes and get into
And
it.
I know you have Jens coming. Jens Anderson is going to come. And
He's a tall man.
Right. So he'll fill you in on more details, I'm
Yeah.
sure. But what I played, what I voiced was with my mother. Hippolyta makes her, her voice debut in Amazon Fury. And she's gone a little, off a rocker. And she's aligned herself with Cersei. And they're out to attack Gotham. And so my job is to gather all the Amazons and go get my mother and knock some sense into her.
Of course.
I mean, lovingly.
Yeah.
And then, fight Cersei with my mother back on our side. So excitement ensues. It's hopefully going to be thrilling. And it's a trilogy. So that's exciting because it's just stay tuned. More to come.
In 1999,
Yeah.
would you have understood any of the words you just said?
That's such a good question. And the answer is no.
Yeah? Was this really is that really, when you got the role, you kind of just
Immersed myself.
became part of the DC Universe?
Yeah, entirely. Somebody like Phil Lamar, when we would record Justice League, he'd be during the breaks when we'd be all together recording, he'd be sitting on the floor reading comic books.
Oh, really?
He's the real deal. And other people like me who had fandom in other places, I was a soap opera person.
Yeah.
I had to educate myself on it. And it's important to do that. The fans have really helped also.
Oh,
with
sure,
that.
I'm sure.
And on Twitter and all of that stuff. So.
Did you expect to go down that tunnel? Or was it originally, I'm just going to do this show, and then over time you're like, this Kal-El sounds interesting.
Right? I love how people ask actors all the time, was it in your intention? Why didn't you play Wonder Woman in this project? It's when we get the call, we show up. So if they want us to do it, Justice League, for as long as Bruce wanted to do Justice League, everyone was in.
Yeah.
There was no one that was going to walk away from that show. And then Bruce, ended it when he ended it, and we all went on. And I didn't know that there'd be anything else after Justice League. It wasn't until I got a call years later from Warner Brothers saying, would you do this movie, and then do another movie, then Injustice, and then DCU Online. So it's been extraordinary to have this run with this character. I mean, I couldn't be more grateful.
So then, was it hard for you to see other people come in and play the character of Wonder Woman?
A little. I mean, you want to be a grown-up about it because, again, it's not yours.
Yeah.
You don't own the role. It's you've been given it, so you want to be generous with other people and happy for other people, but you're not. It's just hard.
Sure.
After you play her for a while, you do feel some ownership.
Right.
And she's so magnificent, and I love her at this point. I just feel so attached to the character. So, again, though, you have to be a grown-up. I mean,
right.
And when the phone rings and they are asking you to do it, it's just a great feeling.
Sure, it's an honor, I imagine.
It is.
But I mean, so are you ever just trolling these websites called IGN, where you're looking they announced this new DC?
I try not to do that. No. I try not to. I do though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like everybody. I mean, we're just we're human with this stuff. So, I'll find out about something, and sometimes it just feels like it's better that I wasn't the voice of that particular Wonder Woman. If she's particularly violent or negative. You know, I have my ideas of, because Justice League started it, that's the Wonder Woman that image of her is always there. So when it's really dark and, you know, she's murdering and but, you know, better I'm not that Wonder Woman, I suppose.
So then do you keep up on what's happening in like the comic book stuff, like with New 52 right now?
Yeah.
How do you feel about all that? That Wonder Woman's a bit brash.
Yeah, there's some brashness and there's a romance.
Right, she's in love with that Superman.
I heard about it.
Spoilers, everybody, but seriously, if you're not come on, read DC Comics. How do you feel about that then?
You know, I know that the reception has been mixed about the romance.
Sure.
But I saw the sexy kiss, and I mean, I'm supportive of the endeavor, so I want to be behind the romance. But I just feel like my heart, and I'm speaking for myself, my heart belongs to Batman.
Yeah. But I mean, I remember that was such an awesome thread throughout Justice League and then Justice League Unlimited, right? That when they started doing that, I was like, are they going to do this? And they're like, oh, they're doing this. This is awesome.
It's exciting. It was exciting. You know, it was kind of like a moonlighting thing. That's dating myself. But like it was like, will they, won't they? It's great that they don't. Like, I don't know that we need to see a full-blown romance.
Sure.
I love, you know, if you have some flirting and there's some adorable repartee back. I mean, that's fantastic. Enough. That's great.
That's all you wanted?
Well, I wanted more.
Yeah.
But you
wanted to keep it a kid's show on TV.
A kid's show, and also, Bruce is the way he is. I mean, he's not going to be just all of a sudden this available guy saying, okay, yeah, let's get more serious.
Yeah.
You know, I want more of a commitment. I mean, that's not going to be Bruce.
Sure.
So he would never be that kind of thing. I mean, Superman, I can see being more of a commitment guy.
He's a Midwest dude. He's got those Midwestern values.
But I just always think of him with Lois.
Right.
You know.
Well, that was the mixed reaction for me with New 52. Is when they tore that apart, I was like, table flip. I'm over with you, Jeff Johns. But no, like now I've settled in because the character is so much different than it was before. Before, you know, New 52, like the fact that, you know, Mom and Pa Kent are both dead, right?
Right.
So Superman is this guy on, you know, kind of a loner who doesn't get to share who he is with anybody. So then to be able to do it with Wonder Woman means a big deal to him.
And so no, I get it, and I'm supportive.
Are you?
No, but no. I mean, I love Jeff, and I think it's a great, you know. Let's see, you know, it's all good. It's all good. I mean,
we all know eventually Superman and Lois are gonna end up together.
Yeah.
That has to happen.
Right?
So you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry. Eventually, this is going to end badly and be really awkward during Justice League
Promise?
things. Yeah, I promise. Don't worry. So then, speaking of this stuff, I mean, you get to own this character of Wonder Woman. How do you feel now about Gal Gadot, I believe is how you pronounce
Gal Gadot.
it? No, I think it's Gadot. Now, how do you feel about Batman, Superman? Wonder Woman's going to be in that now.
You know, I'm thrilled. I've gotten asked that a lot. And I think people expect me to be possessive about it, as if it was
clearly you should have been.
Right, it was as if it was between me playing opposite Ben Affleck or her.
Yeah.
And that was never on the table at Warner Brothers. I can assure everybody out there, including my mother, who wants,
she's the biggest one?
Well, she wants to know, why aren't, you know.
Well, she's been mad since Gal beat you out for Fast and the Furious, so that's
you know, you said you weren't going to bring that up.
Sorry, I don't mean to be reading that variety stuff.
But I think it's just great for the fans that she's in a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people are concerned about this or that, but let's wait and see. Let's see how the franchise does. Let's see how how she's written, how she performs. And I say this all the time, but whether it's in this movie or another movie, she endures, you know, because it's Wonder Woman. So regardless of how any actress portrays her, or how, there are going to be other comic books, television shows, movies, hopefully, we'll get to see her.
Why do you think people struggle so much sometimes to write a good Wonder Woman story?
I think she's hard to write.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think it's harder to cast, actually, than it is to write, because she's been written. And I think she has been written really beautifully in some areas. But I think people, it's like reading a book. You have images in your mind of what she is and what she looks like and how she sounds.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, she sounds like this.
And then she gets cast, and the audience is shocked. Like, what? This isn't anything how I imagined her or how she sounds, and she's not tough enough, and she's not this, and she's not tall enough, or whatever it is. They've got very definite ideas. And again, it's ownership. None of us own, you know, we have to just let her exist, and if the franchise does well, then she'll be back. And if it doesn't, then...
She'll go away for 10 years.
Well, and look how many Batmen Batman's.
Batman's,
Batman's, right?
Yeah,
Batman's we've had.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Keaton, we've had gazillions.
Yeah.
So, come on, we can do this.
Okay, you just wanted to get the ball rolling, get people used
For
to
Wonder
different
Woman. And yeah, because I think the fans want to see her, and that's important. It's important that she's there. She's contributed to this DC universe, and let her have her time at, at bat, under the sun, in the spotlight, whatever cliche you want, right? Whatever cliche you want to insert, it's her time. So I'm just thrilled for the fans that she's going to be in a movie.
Do you feel like, I think a lot of people look, we look for strong female characters, both in video games, comic books, across the, nerd medium.
Right.
Does Wonder Woman stand out to you as one that actually hits the mark? Because it's one of those, like, oh, she's as strong as Superman and she's Wonder Woman, so there you go. But, like, there have been hits and misses with her throughout the time. And I know that, this last year, IGN's comic book of the year, right, series of the year was Wonder Woman. So, I mean, like, it feels like people are getting that. Do you think that rings true with the character? Is she a good role model? Is she a good...
I think she's extraordinary. I mean, I do, because at least in a lot of the things, whether it's DC Online or Justice League, how I've gotten to play her, she's a daughter. She's a good daughter. She's loving. She is a superhero, but she's also a person, a woman, and she does believe in right and wrong, and she'll fight to the death for that.
Yeah.
And we need that. We need to look up to people like that. We need to read about people and see people like that. And she happens to be a strong, beautiful woman. So as a woman, I think that's a great message to send out there to little girls and little boys. I mean, let them see a powerful, beautiful, intelligent woman.
That was a good answer.
Well,
let's just walk away now. That's fine. Batman: Arkham Knight, the next big Batman game that's coming up. We already know Superman shows up in it and kind of sets the ball in motion for the Justice League game coming up. Right. Are you on the hook yet to play Wonder Woman? That?
No.
Damn it! I was hoping I could get you. That is not a real fact. That is.
It's funny because when people will say, "What about Arkham Knight?" Wonder Woman's not in Arkham. So.
Are you used to this? Are you used to people trying to trick you?
Yes.
Slimy journalists like me? God damn it.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Hey, this isn't my first rodeo. As you would say.
You've been playing Wonder Woman for a while.
A little bit,
yeah.
So...
Is that the next frontier, you think, is to get her into games where you can play as her? Of course, DC Universe, Amazon's Fury, it's this DLC where she's not playable for the story, she's in the game, she's doing all her things, then you can play her for...
You will be able to play her and Cersei. In some of the content.
Sure, and the Legends content.
Right, so you'll be able to do that. But like Injustice, the game Injustice, I played Wonder Woman, so, it exists out there, but Arkham seems to be doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to fill that void. I would love them to, whether it's with me or with somebody else.
No, with you. You don't have to, come on.
Well, just so that they fill it, so she's there. I mean, that's the point of all of this. Like, let her be in the mood. Let us have a discussion where it's almost too much Wonder Woman. We have a lot of these guys, and she's beloved. I mean, she really is. People just, throughout the world, not just when I go to other countries, people love her.
Yeah.
So the more the merrier, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, great, Susan. DC Universe Online, Amazon Fury, it's out very soon.
Yes.
No firm date on it.
No, but very soon.
Right.
And part 1.
Okay, yeah, so it's a trilogy.
Yeah,
you said
trilogy.
That.
So
Jens
it's
Anderson
exciting.
is on here in 2 weeks, and I'm gonna give him the fucking business and I will get this date.
He'll fill you in on all of it.
Yeah.
Like he'll be able to get in there with you and talk the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Susan, thank you so much.
Thank you
Keep
so
being
much.
Wonder Woman, please.
Thank you.
It's a remote control, you idiot. Thanks to Brian Altano, Susan Eisenberg, and you, my audience. If you want to be in that audience, go.ign.com/up-at-noon for details. As always, Brian and I will be responding to comments the first hour this video is live, so come tell us your favorite Wonder Woman memory. Mine is when I was a kid and lost my Wonder Woman action figure's golden lasso in the backyard. I cried. A lot. I was 17 and late to my first date. We'll be back next Monday at noon, but until then, I'm going back to bed. Follow Susan on Twitter.